Hey guys, welcome to this episode of Marshall Street Podcast. It is episode 18. Myself and Ben got in the studio the other week and had a really good talk about when you're first joining a band and all the hurdles that you have to overcome. Things like actually joining the band, holding auditions, booking gigs, recordings, and video clips. We have quite a big in-depth discussion about what we think the best way to go about recording your first video clips. It's super cool. Hope you guys like it. Enjoy. Alrighty, welcome.
Welcome.
How are we?
Very well. How are you going, Stu?
Good, mate.
Excellent.
Good, mate. I'm Stu.
I'm Bennett.
And we are...
The Marshall Street Podcast team.
That's us. It's just the two of us today.
It is. Davey's not here, but we'll carry on without him.
Yeah, he's on holidays the fuck. In Europe.
Oh, well, we're having more fun here, to be honest, so he's missing out.
What have we been doing around here? The traps. What's been going on around the traps?
Around the traps, we've had a fair bit going on here. We've recently done some revamps to some of the socials. A few people will be seeing that in the next couple of weeks when it comes out. Got a couple albums coming up here. Prepping for a few releases with Claria Boss. She's going to be dropping shit soon. There's a lot going on, Stewie. A lot going on.
Heaps are going on. Heaps.
Just shot a film clip on the weekend. Got a few other things in the pipe works, as they say.
Sorry.
Yes.
I was just swallowing.
No, you're right. I just finished there mid-gulp as Stu was finishing his beer.
Yeah, heaps going on. We got some recording sessions coming up in the next couple of weeks. So that's going to be sick.
Got a new blog coming out soon, everyone. By the time you're listening to this in the future, there will be a Marshall Street blog out.
Yep.
Nice.
Keep
Stay
your eyes
posted with
into
that.
that.
That's written by Alex Carpy, a Melbourne singer.
Yep.
She's awesome. She's actually playing this next week, but that'll probably would have already happened.
It'll be all over.
Yep.
And she's also taking part in our artist coaching.
That she is.
If you don't know, our artist coaching is kind of a one-stop shop for, going about doing all the things required as an independent musician, really. Yep. And it's kind of like based on our experience being in bands and shit over the years, which is kind of what we're going to be talking about today.
Yeah.
We notice a lot on things like Facebook forums and things like that, a lot of people that are just starting out don't really know how to start when it comes to things like finding band members, booking gigs,
Booking
recording
tours,
music videos,
going on tours,
all that sort of stuff. So just going to unzip.
No, you're right. Thanks for the added sound effects there as well.
Yep, you're welcome.
But yeah, there's definitely, and I mean, we went through it starting out as well, because there's just that sense, if you haven't seen it before, you don't know what's done. It's like you're learning it as you go. So if you can see someone who's done it before, it's obviously going to make what you do a lot more efficient and better.
Yeah, you just want to learn from people that have gone through
that have done it, yeah.
Good or bad.
That's right.
Yeah.
You learn from the bad. Everyone's gone through it.
So usually it starts with, obviously, you play music. Some people don't and they join bands, which is sweet as well. Good on them. But most of the time it's people that can play music to start off with. And, it's kind of like most of the time, people are singer-songwriters. They write their own music or they do a lot of covers and really don't know how to go about finding people to jam with at the very beginning. All you want to do is kind of jam and see where it leads because you never know what it's going to sound like. But I guess in that regard, these days with kind of how easy it is online with Facebook and stuff like that, there's a lot of communities these days that you can, join Facebook groups, all that sort of thing. I guess back in the day when I was doing it, it was all like we had to search through Melband. I don't know if anyone's heard of that, but Melband's like this.
It's an ancient website.
Yeah, it's still up. It's old school, but people still use it from what I understand. But basically it's just like you advertise that you're searching for a band or you look for people that are searching for band members.
Looking to be in a band. There used to be, even in the back of Beat, there used to be ads for it.
Yeah.
Band looking for bassist looking for fucking band or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely through Facebook, it just made it getting in touch with people so fucking easy. Like
Yep.
someone that you have no fucking mutual friends with, that you haven't met out in person, you don't know where the fuck they live or anything. You can literally send them a message being, "Hey man, do you want to fucking jam?"
Yep.
You know?
I'm a guitarist.
Yeah.
Let's
Which is sweet.
Let's play and see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool. You know, back in the day, you'd have to do auditions in person, and even that you don't really have to do these days. You could probably just send through a video clip of yourself playing guitar.
Is that how you tried out for band members?
Every band that I've been in has always been people that I've known. But when we started the Spin Set back in 2010 or 2009 or so, we had Maddie and Josh, Trav and myself, and Maddie and Josh quit at the same time. So then me and Trav still wanted to keep doing it. And I was on drums at that stage, but I wanted to move to guitar. So then Travi was on guitar and vocals, so we needed a drummer and a bassist at the very least. So we put ads up on Melband. We did flyers as well. We put flyers up at like Main Street Music and stuff.
Much response?
Yeah, there was a bit. We did about 6 or 7 auditions, and it ended up being Bassie and Frankie, who now plays in series. Bassie plays in Between You and Me and Bukowski. You would have seen him on the podcast recently.
Yep.
And then Terrence, one of Trav's mates. So they were all through auditions, Bassie and Frankie, except for Terrence. Terrence just joined. And auditions are fucking... They're so hit and miss. Mostly miss.
But even that, we'll get back to that. But out of those people that you played with, a few of them have gone into playing in some fucking decent bands. Yep. Do you think going through that process in such an old school way, like auditioning bands and going through all the fucking shit, means that the people that you're actually left with, that you probably end up working with, are at a serious enough point that they're gonna take it seriously?
It's like a job interview. You see how good they are at their instrument. That's kind of the base level. Then it's
Were
like...
you a snob? Were you a cunt? Were you hard on them?
Nah, man.
Would you judge them? Did you have a little table?
Absolutely.
Did you bring a
It's all
table into the
about
rehearsal room?
I'd be like marking them off and shit.
Yeah?
Tick, tick. Nah.
What would you do? Would they have to play a couple of tracks, your
Yeah,
songs?
so we would have obviously talked before the audition, and it's like, learn at the very least these 2 songs, but here's all of our music and you can kind of learn whatever songs you want. And so many times people would come in, haven't learned shit or learnt half a song. Oh, I don't really know how to play this whole song, but I'll just play it. It's like, you're wasting my time. Like, it's so weird. I just don't understand it. That's like going to a job interview and telling the person, I haven't really done any research for this job. I don't really know what it's about, to be honest. It's so weird. I don't get it. It just makes no sense to me. Why would you do that? But it happens, man. Like, seriously.
Yep.
Anyway, but yeah, you want to do the hard yards, and then above that, it's like, you know, do you get along with these people?
Yeah,
So
that's a big one.
Both Bassie and Frankie, like, we all got along straight away. It was fucking awesome.
He's a pretty good man, old bass face.
Yeah, man. He's a legend.
So then, what would you guys do? Rounds? Walk me through this. As someone who never,
Yeah.
the bands I played in were all started off as that friends. Like we were fucking buddies in high school, all listened to the same tunes.
Yep.
And then we're like, cool, let's fucking start a band. Actually, we changed. We had auditions once. Clacker actually auditioned.
Did he?
Yeah.
What for? Vocals?
Yeah, lead
That's
singer.
so funny.
He came in a close second.
Did he?
That's how good this band was.
Clacker on the pipes.
Yeah, he can sing.
funny.
He's not too bad.
Yeah, he's better than you.
Well, that's debatable. Open for
It's
debate.
not hard.
But yeah, that was just where we rehearsed. It was looking back, it was like fucking nothing. We'd kind of choose some covers that we listened
Yeah.
to. Cool. Do you remember what part of this chorus do you fucking like? But yeah, we knew everyone, so it was never, here's a complete random that we're gonna,
Yeah.
potentially join a band with.
Yep. It's weird, but again, if you get along with them, it's pretty easy. It's just like meeting someone for the first time anywhere else.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing that's probably better is that you usually have something in common with them in terms
Yep.
of music taste if they're trying out for your band that's a
Yep.
specific style of music. So.
100%, which usually to people in bands or who like music a lot, that's a big thing they have in common.
Yep. Yep.
Because you definitely it's kind of like getting fucking down and intimate in a being in a band with someone. You learn a lot about people
Yeah.
really quick.
Yep.
because you're around people, you're around them
And-
for so much, you go
Yeah.
through fucking so much together, you build, you create shit together.
And all the stuff that you create obviously means something to you. You know, unless you're doing covers,
And even then, like they still,
you still want to have your creative input.
yeah,
Yeah.
and you still get the same feeling. I'd imagine, you know, if I were playing, I haven't, but if I had played in a cover band,
I've played
imagine
in
that
some
feeling
gigs.
playing live. You know,
Yeah, it's similar. It's
if there's
similar.
a crowd that's fucking into it, you're like,
Crowd
cool, you
gets
still
into
you
it.
get that buzz. You're playing live.
It's not your songs though, so
Hmm.
it feels a bit different. It's like playing a cover.
Yeah,
You kind of like want to get to your like if someone's singing along to your original songs, like that
Yeah, that's
shit's
true.
all over it.
yeah,
But it's still fun. It's still a good time. But it'd be like I've never been in a cover band for an extended period of time. I would imagine that you get tired of playing the same fucking songs over and over and over again. But yeah, auditions. So then obviously from there, auditions, you know, if you're successful, you kind of just keep jamming with them, I guess. And then, well, that's how we did it.
Did you give them like a tiki torch? And it was like Survivor, where you put out their flame as they left the rehearsal room.
We had an initiation ritual.
Yeah, this sounds like hazing.
No, we didn't. I wish we did though. That would have been sweet.
Yeah, so I mean, and then even aside from that, I guess really the end point of kind of looking for a band member is to get into the actual fucking rehearsal room, play through the track, see if you guys vibe. Like that's the end goal of anything.
Yeah.
So I guess really what it is, the best way to go about it is kind of using the resources that people have now to get to that point quicker.
Yeah.
Whether that's the Melbourne musicians, Facebook forums,
Yeah.
like there's so many people talking on those things.
Yep.
But yet a lot of those questions are like, hey man, I'm a guitarist, I'm looking for someone to jam with.
Yep.
Or hey man, I've written these songs.
I've recently moved here.
Yeah, recently moved
Yeah.
here. You know, I'm looking for a drummer to play through my tracks with me.
Yep. Yeah. But it makes it so easy for people to kind of figure out whether that's something you even want to start looking into. The difference between auditions is like you have no idea really. All you know is that they're into this style of music, and if they have songs, then you learn those songs. But these days on Facebook, it's like you can talk to them for a while before you actually meet up.
Yep.
You know, it's pretty sweet.
Yep. Definitely.
And then I guess from there you start jamming and stuff. Shortly after that, you would think that, you know, you'd want to start booking gigs. That'd
How-
probably be
how
most
much-
people's.
How did you guys handle the like creative control part when it came to being in a band and getting a new bandmate? Because I know one of the things that people mentioned even here is they go, hey, I've written these songs and I'm looking for a band to play them with me, you know? And I guess a lot of them maybe aren't, or at the time they aren't, but open to it being a band and everyone's input, you know,
Yeah.
especially starting off, they might see it as I've written these songs and I want someone to play it with me. Yeah, how do you go about that? Is it
Well,
like,
it's probably dependent on the band, because a lot of the time it is like that. The songwriter wants the thing to sound a specific way. But I've always really enjoyed collaborating, and I love the mashup of everyone's influences. I reckon that creates something new. Mm-hmm. You know, if you're writing from your own experience, you can really only get one outcome. You know, it's kind of like, yeah, play it this way because this is how I want it to sound.
Yep.
And if that's, you know, if you're someone that like copies other styles of music, you're probably not going to do anything that groundbreaking. I don't know.
yeah.
That's a debate, but you know,
Definitely is. I think it's a fair debate though, because I think the sum of multiple people's opinions and multiple people in the room, you're going to probably get to a better position. Now, obviously, that comes down to the people in the room. If you put 5 fucking idiots in the room, they're probably not going to write you a better track than
Yeah.
if you had one fucking idiot in the room.
or one good person.
Yes, but I think being open to it is definitely the key.
Yeah.
because like there's so many times we're just influenced by whatever we've gone through either that day, that fucking year, in our childhood as we've grown up. Like we have these preperceived perceptions on shit.
Yeah.
That and especially on something creative, I see there's absolutely no harm. I see only upside in going through that process with others.
I mean, the band that I'm currently doing is my own solo stuff.
The band that I've been jamming with you as well.
You have not.
So we've got stuff from Repeat Script
Repeat
coming out
Script.
soon. Just a quick plug for me and Stu's band.
Bennett is not in Repeat Script.
Soon to be in the band.
I repeat, he's not in Repeat Script.
But yeah, that's
But
your
that's
stuff.
my stuff, and I get
mean,
the
and
other
you write
dudes.
everything.
Yeah, I get the other dudes to play what I've played. But if they play something slightly different, I don't really give a shit.
And even
You
on
know,
that,
the
like,
structure of the song is what's important. That's kind of how to. But live, it's different anyway. It feels
okay,
different.
so you're very open to that. Like even that, you'd
Yeah, if they play like as long as it's not drastically different. Like
Mm-hmm.
if they're playing a fucking double time beat when it's supposed to be half time, it's like, hey,
Yep.
what are you doing? But
now, do you expect that, like if you're playing gigs, so if it's your tunes, you're writing everything, they're playing more or less your songs. When it comes to playing live, what's your kind of expectations of them? You know, I know you hook them up with the writer, whatever the band gets.
yeah, I'm not in the position where I can pay people because I'm not getting paid myself for that.
Yep.
It's original music at the start, and for a very long time, you're not going to get paid for it. So, you know, I was open with them at the start when I was like, hey, you know, I'll give you the rider. You can have all the beers from
Yeah,
every
yep.
gig. I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
need that. I'll buy the beers. I don't care.
Yep.
But, you know, if the money starts coming in and, you know, they're obviously entitled to getting a cut of that.
Yep.
That's me.
No, definitely. But I think even like, would it be fair, I guess, to reword it to expect someone else to play in a band of your stuff with absolutely nothing coming back their way? Because I guess especially starting off, people are like,
Yeah.
well, because no one's going to give
When
a
you're
shit
young,
about
maybe.
your songs as much as you.
Yeah.
When you're young, definitely. If you're under the age of 17 or so, or 18, and you're
Even
jamming
like
in the band.
21, maybe. I don't know.
If you're friends with people,
Yeah.
I see. If you're friends with people and you actually like hanging out with them, like you're friends with them, and you enjoy being in that room, then
Yeah.
cool. There's no difference if you're fucking watching TV together or you're jamming the guitar.
Mm.
That's fine. But in terms of if someone's written a song, they're like, cool. I've got these songs. I want to perform them. I want to have a band playing it with me. I think the closer they get to that band just playing their tracks and being their band, as opposed to, all right, this is an all-in influence, you know, let's build this together. I think where people stand that line dictates what they, you know, if they need to pay the band to get them in.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people ask that, they're like, should I be paying these people if they're paying them for one gig?
There's no one answer.
Yeah.
I don't think you can say yes or no. It's really, it depends on whether the people playing for you are happy to play for free as well.
It's true.
You know, I feel like if you are willing to pay people to join your band, there is a chance that they'll be taken more seriously. You know, obviously, if I end up getting paid for gigs, I don't care. It's not about money for me. It's about playing music.
Well, we'll split it.
You won't be.
Also being in the band.
You won't be playing. Yeah, that's how I feel anyway. Everyone's different. Depends on the band members.
Yep.
Yes, I probably feel like booking shows shortly after for most bands is kind of important unless the aim of the band is to be a professional band right from the start, then a lot of the time you go to the recording side of things first and having the product first. But I would say as a general assumption that most people want to play live before they have product. It's hard to say.
Yep.
I don't know. Everyone's different. But, you know, we see a lot of how do I book a gig? You know,
That's a big one.
it's huge. And we could probably do a whole podcast on that. But I guess
And the easiest way,
We've both
I
done
think,
it.
is just to book it yourself.
Yeah.
Like, instead of going, a lot of people are like, oh, I want to play a show. What it's kind of thought about as this big fucking magical thing
Yeah.
that happens that people who don't know what's happening are like, oh, what's something
How do I get on a gig? How do I play with other bands?
It's
Yeah.
this big thing. And then once you fucking organize, you're like, well, all right. Like that illusion is now broken.
Yep.
But I mean, really, all it was for us starting out was, again, through frustration of, I guess, seeing this fucking perceived magical space that is playing live and supporting acts and not being invited to it, like, because we weren't getting offered the fucking gigs we
Yep.
wanted or necessarily gigs at all at the start. We're like, well, let's just fucking book our own.
Yep.
And then it became a sense of, oh man, I saw this dude was playing at fucking this venue on a Friday. Let's send them an email. And they're like, oh man, you can have a Saturday. It might be like a couple months later, but they're like,
Yep.
yep, you can book a Saturday. And then that first breakthrough, you're like, fuck. So booking a venue that one of the guys that I looked up to or seen the scene as being above us, once you realize that you can book the venues they play at, just by sending out an email. So you're like, okay, here's this
Yep.
next door that's unlocked.
Yeah, there's two ways you can start, and one is messaging a whole bunch of bands, and the other is messaging a whole bunch of venues.
We went venues.
Yeah.
I literally, me and Zul, who'll be in the podcast in a couple of weeks, went down. We were at his fucking crib in Ivanhoe, went to 232, got a fucking coffee, got a Beat magazine, went back to his joint with the magazines on the table.
He'd had experience booking gigs though with our old bands.
I'd done fucking nothing of it.
Yeah.
And then it was literally fucking go through on the top and the bottom of all the gig flyers, who the presenting agency is, you know, if they're fucking whatever names we could get out of it. Then just went into Facebook, typed them in, see who were they affiliated with, any band. If there was a band that were like, fuck, imagine in 6 or 12 months we got to support that band. Cool, jumped into that fucking band's Facebook page. Their fucking manager's sitting right there. Take that email and send them an email.
Yep.
And then out of the fucking 100 or 200 you send out, maybe we got 5 replies. Then we're like, fuck.
There's
people got back to
always
us.
promoters and bookers looking for bands,
Hugely.
right? So the more that you outreach and the more that you look for, you know, the people that are in charge of this sort of stuff, you'll find it very easily.
Definitely.
Very easily.
I'd put it this way: if every band booker or every person who is in charge of organising a lineup in Melbourne, let's just say Melbourne because we're here, if every person who had that responsibility for the next 7 days knew that you wanted a gig,
They'd
you'd have
ask
a
you
gig.
straight away.
You'd have a gig.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
how do you get in front of those?
It's much easier for the band booker to have to do no work. Like I've been a band booker, and if I had, and I have had, it didn't eventuate just because, you know, logistics and stuff like that. But there was a couple of times where people reached out to me like, hey, can I be on your bill? I was like, yeah, sick. Let's make it happen sometime. You know, I haven't booked a gig for, you know, like a year or so, but if someone reaches out to me, I'll give them a chance every time.
Yeah.
You know, it depends on the show. If you're booking a gig at, you know, Max Watts or something, then there's got to be some quality control. But, you know, if you are playing a gig at like, you know, the Bendigo Hotel, not that that's a shit venue or anything, but, you know, it's just more the venue that one of those types of venues.
You can play
that,
early
you know,
on
it's
in
a
your
pub.
career.
Yeah. And you can always get a gig there.
The Barleycorn.
Barleycorn doesn't exist anymore, mate. You're about 10 years
So we
behind.
can smack talk it. Because if I heard someone was playing at the Barleycorn, I was like, well, this is their first gig and
Yeah.
I'll be sure to see them in 3 months.
Yeah.
Like that was a sign.
Sometimes first gigs are awesome though. Like
Fucking
you go-
oath.
Yeah, because they get all
They
their
can
mates
be.
down and shit.
I'm not going to go to everyone's first gig though.
No. Unless the band's fucking sweet.
Yeah.
First time I saw Series, I was like, oh boy. I was at the Northcote Social Club.
What was that? What were you like?
Oh boy.
The old Northcote Brochel.
Yeah, but
Anyway, getting back
Yeah,
to booking shows.
yeah,
So that's how we went about it. We contacted venues. So
Yeah.
like it was literally a case of cool, let's find the fucking 25 venues that you hear get talked about every fucking week in Melbourne of people playing live. There's usually 1 or 2 maximum people who book there. It's usually 1, and they're usually a uni student or in their early 20s, and they're doing this for side cash.
Part-time.
Yep.
Yep.
So hit them up, go, hey man, these are my tunes, this is where I'm at. Don't fucking lie or bullshit or anything about them. Like, don't be like, yeah, man, I'm going to pack it out. I'm awesome. I'm going to be the next big thing. Just be like, hey, man, this is where I'm at. I want to be playing some live shows. Do you have any supports that you need an act for? Or can I organize a night?
yep.
Now, a lot of the time, the venue won't be in charge of the support acts, so I wouldn't be surprised if they don't get back to you about a support. One of the things early on, I thought venues had an input. They don't.
No. It's the booker.
So don't kind of go there for that. But what you might get is the ability to book a night there.
Yep.
And then you can be in charge of everything. So then you can go and find 3 bands that'll support you or a similar view. If you're starting out and you're like, well, why should people support me? Good question. Don't fucking get people to support you
Yeah.
if you're doing nothing. Just get 3 other people who are on the same wavelength of you, and just make a fucking good night out of it
I
that
would
people want to go
suggest,
to.
from my experience, the venues want a full lineup already. It's the way that I go about it is I find the bands like you were just saying, and I would say, hey, I'm looking to book a show at around the end of August, for example.
Mm-hmm.
You know, one of the weekends at the end of August or start of September. Or
How many
whatever
months
like
out? Sorry to jump in.
I like 2 months minimum.
Okay. I'd say, yep. I was going to say 3.
I like
2's
2
good.
months minimum.
Yep.
Two is enough.
Yep.
I liked doing 2 because it didn't mean that I had to wait and wait and wait.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was booking gigs more regularly, 2 would be fine because you'd be doing it all the time.
You go through it. I'd say it's a minimum of 2.
Minimum of 2.
Don't let it get to like 6 weeks out.
Nah, it's too stressful.
And you'll never get 4 weeks out.
Yeah.
Unless
And you
someone
won't
pulls
get as
out.
many.
Or they'll give you a public holiday, and everyone, the first time you book a gig on the public holiday, you'll be like, this is fucking awesome. Everyone's going to be in town, long weekend, they party. They're not. There's a reason you got the public holiday. People do their own shit. Heads up.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
continue.
So you find the bands that you want to have on the bill. Give them a rough guide to when you want to book the show. You say, I'm looking at these 4 venues, for example.
Yep.
And then they would come back to you and say, yep, sweet, just let me know. And then, you contact all the venues. You say, hey, I've got a proposed lineup of these bands. Just trying to lock down a night, and then I'll get back to you when I can confirm the lineup. And they'll be like, yep, sweet, I'll give you this night. And then you get back to them as soon as you can, the bands, and you say, hey, they've penciled me in for this date. Are you guys free? If no, find another band. But at that stage, you've pretty much penciled in the venue, and then you've pretty much booked your gig.
Yep.
And there's a lot more to booking a gig and making it a successful gig.
Well, that's the key to making it successful. So, but that's pretty much what goes into the booking of a gig.
Correct.
Is liaising with the venue to secure the night, so that you're in charge of organising it. They basically, through the trust established in that relationship, leave it to you on the night. You go out, you organise your support acts, whatever you want, and then however much more or less you do from there will dictate, I guess,
How successful
how
the night is.
successful it would be. And from then on, then it opens a whole can of worms of advertising and marketing this fucking night.
Yep.
So then let's say, this is cool, let's jump in, let's just quickly detour from what we were going to talk about, which was starting out, into the marketing and advertising side of a gig. We'll just quickly touch on it. So let's say we've gone through and you found some bandmates and you're fucking jamming. You're like, sweet, let's play live. Go and you fucking book a show. You book a night at a venue. Get support acts. What are you gonna do from here?
In terms of marketing the show,
All of it, yeah.
you need a sound guy.
Sound guy is crucial. That's needed. Yep.
That's 100%.
That's 100%.
Needed.
Where would you
Now,
look for
sometimes
that?
the venue will supply them, which is
And
good.
this is a question that you should ask early on as well when
Yes.
booking it. Do they supply a sound guy
Yep.
or will you?
And they'll either give you a whole numbers of people that do sound there,
Yep.
or they'll have a resident person that is always there.
Yep.
And you just say, yes, I want to book that person.
Cool. And with all these things, make sure it's super okay to be super upfront and clear about costs and prices with shit.
Yep.
If a venue's asking if you want to book their sound guy, it is 100% okay, and you're not being a fucking cunt or aggressive to go, "Oh, yeah, cool, how much do they cost?"
Yep.
That is completely fine.
Yep.
Sound guy is needed.
Yep.
If you want to have a door person,
Yes.
you'll be in charge of supplying this. Otherwise, if the venue supplies it, they'll be paying them at an hourly rate, and it's probably not going to be as friendly as you can get
Correct.
it done.
Yep.
So if you're headlining,
I usually, if you're going to book gigs, if that's something that you're interested in, I just, if they don't want to, a lot of times they don't want to take any money because they just want to do it for the fun of it. They want to be part of
they want you drinking.
being a gig. No, it's in like the people that are on the door for you.
Oh, the door. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah, so
I thought you were talking about the bar.
The door people.
Yep.
They, like from my experience, they just want to hang out at gigs. You know, those people love going to gigs.
Yep.
Right. So, if they don't want to be paid for it, I just buy them dinner. I think that's
That's
a really
nice.
nice thing to do.
That is a really nice
You don't
thing to
have to
do.
do it, but I just think like they're doing you a favor. So do something back to them.
That is a really, really nice thing to do.
Buy them a drink.
I think
whatever.
all the times that Tash was our door person, I never bought her dinner. What we
good
did
bloke.
do, which was a good fucking a good tip and a good hack for those listening, is for a very cheap fee, you can get a little rubber stamp made.
Yep. Yeah,
So we got a
yeah,
stamp.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
literally like $20 or something, and you get a fucking stamp of your band's name or logo, so that everyone through the door, you don't use the fucking venue stamp.
No.
You have your stamp. Now you can take this stamp, and it doubles as stamping, obviously, whatever you want.
Yeah.
But so we would take out when we'd do a release, we would make a whole heap of pirate burnt copies
Yep.
on blank CDs.
I have one of them.
There, and literally, and it was stamped. It's just a white CD. You get the ones that are all white, and you take your fucking stamp, and you can stamp your band's name on it, and you can literally mass produce pirate copies of your own shit and just put them out.
Yep.
Because we were like, cool, I don't care if fucking someone paid for the disc or if they
Correct.
got a burn copy, they're listening to it.
Correct, mate.
But having a little stamp, like an actual old school rubber stamp and an ink pad,
Yep.
will pay dividends in the live scene.
Very good. The other things that you want, so you got your sound guy, you got your door person, sound person, door person. And then from there, you obviously need to print some flyers. Well, you need the flyer designed first.
Yep.
So you need
Gonna
someone
need
to be able
someone
to
who's doing
design
art.
the flyer. You can do it yourself if you don't mind.
Yep.
You know, sometimes shitty posters look cool.
Yeah, man.
Sweet. Just
There's
do
a
it on the
picture.
cheap.
I think it's like the Fries or someone who used the the fucking Facebook screen.
Yeah, saw that.
Like it's like a screen print of the text message between them and the graphic designer.
Yep.
It's like, hey, can you make me a poster? Cool. What are the dates?
dates?
This act. What are the times? 8:40 doors. Okay, thanks. On it. And
that was
that's
the
their
printout, yeah.
like that's fucking
So
sweet.
smart.
Yeah.
That draws people's attention.
So you can do it on a budget again.
I
but it's
like
definitely-
professional looking posters. So I pay someone to make my posters and get them. Like he does like cartoons and it fucking looks so sick.
Yep.
And you know, the point of a poster is to draw someone's attention to it so that they know that you're playing a gig. What's
Yep.
the point of doing some poster that no one is going to look twice at? It's the opposite of what you want. So I like the idea of paying someone to get a good design.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a cost that you're going to have to put out.
And even on that, like any of these stuff, any things that are going to incur cost, there is a way if you use some creative thinking that you can get it at a less than say cost price. Just if you just looked up fucking graphics designer on Google and called the first person, there's ways to go about it. You can talk to people through whether it's forums, musicians, friends of friends, graphic design forums on Facebook. Go down to a fucking local TAFE and there'll be like 50 people enrolled in a graphics design course who are studying the shit. Students are poor as fuck. Go off from $30 and they'll make you a dope ass poster because they love doing it.
Yep, and it's extra cash that they wouldn't have got.
Fucking oath.
Yep. What else is there? Well, then you've got to print those flyers. You know,
Yep.
you want to get a couple of different sizes. These days, you need a Facebook size
you-
banner.
Yep.
You need an A3.
An Instagram square tile.
Instagram square
if you've got
tile.
a
I would say
YouTube page.
A5, the smaller one, which is like a flyer size.
Oh yeah, they're good for
Because
cafes.
they're good
and
for
shit,
like cafes
bars,
and record
stores.
That's
Stores
the word
that
I
sell
was looking
records.
for.
Yeah, just general fucking shop front handouts.
Yep.
Which is super good as well.
We
Even
used to go flyering like Brunswick Street and stuff. We used to just go knock on the people's doors, and I'd be like, "Hey, can we put up a poster in your front window?" 50% of the times they'd say yes.
That's sick. We used to do it for shop fronts, like
Yep.
with those little ones. They're like a quarter of an A4 page, whatever
A5,
that. Yeah. Those, and then you just go to fucking shop fronts throughout the
A6.
city, like Melbourne Central, and they got like a lot of time. They've got little displays and shit in the front office, and they've got little takeaways. There to go, hey, can I put some
Drop
of these?
10
in
of them there.
Yeah, can I put some of these in your front office? You know, as long as you're not a cunt, and you don't just throw them. Like, you have them
Yeah.
looking neat. They've usually got other stuff sitting there that either other free publications put out.
Yep.
Just leave your stuff with it.
Yep. What else? What else is there?
Well, then you can go, and they're kind of...
It depends on how creative you want to get, really.
And how in-depth you want to get. Like,
Yeah.
merch, obviously, is a good one. How you handle merch would be dependent on the band. If you're going about it for fucking monetary to make cash off
Yep.
sales, or if you're just looking to spread awareness. So
I've got
if you can make any merch you can make or screen print on the cheap, that you have the ability to give out for next to nothing just to get brand awareness and logo recognition out there. I think that's probably the main
I've got
dudes.
another one. Ticketing.
Ticketing.
Ticketing's super important. I used to think that it was a hassle having ticketed events. Now I'm on the other side of the fence, and I think every gig that you organise, you should have it ticketed because it's a great way for you to be aware how good your gig's selling.
Yep.
You
I
know?
definitely agree.
And then, you know, whether you can promo hard, there's creative ways you can go about it. You know, you can kind of go about it. If you buy a ticket here, you get a discount off merch or
definitely.
something like that. There's
Or you
heaps of
start it
different
in
shit.
the this is a great one. This is a real solid takeaway that people can do at their next gig.
This whole podcast is a fucking takeaway, mate.
Fucking too right. So when I definitely agree with that. I was the exact same. I used to be against ticketing stuff because I was like, no, like
It's a hassle.
Yep. All those reasons. But it definitely is the way to go. If you get a ticket, even if it's free, and you have someone who buys a ticket, they're going to get that actual ticket in their email. get them to print it off, and then in the fucking Facebook event group of that gig. So say you're playing that show, obviously you're going to invite all these people to that event group. All the acts should be doing the same. So you've got an event that's actually moving and has some intention on it, not just something that's pumped full of figures but no one looks at.
Correct.
So then you've got an event with everyone that should be going to this fucking gig. Get them go, hey guys, just letting everyone know that this is a ticketed event. Tickets are still free. You can buy them at the door, but we would prefer it if you bought tickets pre-sale. Then
Free.
if they post off...
Say free.
Well, say it's free.
Okay.
Oh, even if it's not.
Yeah.
Even if it's not, like the benefits of ticketing a free event are still there.
Yeah.
But say it's not free. Buy pre-sale fucking tickets. If you post a picture of the printout of your ticket on the Facebook group, obviously take out the barcode or anything that's going to fucking let people steal shit. But if you post this, then we'll choose 5 or 10 people to get something else fucking free. That could be
free
fucking
t-shirt,
CDs from the band. On the night, it could be a drink card. On the night, it could be something else. It could be for 5. They get to bring
get
5
an invite
friends
to
in.
a private gig or some shit
Could
like
be
that.
they get to come to your next 2 shows, but it could be anything that you've built this kind of relationship around pre-sailing.
Yep. So ticketing's super important. So I guess really for booking gigs, that's kind of the crux of it. You can get more creative and you can do a whole lot with merchandising and brand awareness and advertising and all that sort of stuff.
Sticker campaigns.
Yeah, there's a lot. We could go into a whole thing, but you've got the bands, the venue, the sound person, the door person, the ticketing and merchandise.
Yep.
They're kind of the things to get ready for a gig.
Yep.
So you've played gigs. Let's move on a bit. You've played gigs and you want a product, or if you're someone that wants the product before playing gigs, how do you go about recording a song or organizing a recording, or
Yep.
It's kind of these days less elusive, but especially when we were kind of coming up, it was kind of like, fuck, how do I get a song done?
Well, you're a little bit older than me. From when I was coming up, the internet was still around, so we were more used to it. But definitely when you were
same for me, mate.
When you were on the come up.
Yep. No, but it was hard to be able to record your own stuff if you didn't have your own software and stuff like that. And these days, people are still in the same boat. There's a lot of free software out there that sucks. But if it's the difference between having a song and not having one,
100%.
You can record an acoustic track, an acoustic version of a song with acoustic guitar and vocals, and even if it sounds shit, you can still hear the song.
You can record that on your phone these days. Like what
There's
people,
heaps,
the microphone that people have in their pockets
is not too shit.
Yeah.
It's fine if it's a demo.
To get demos and actually just recording stuff.
I think the important thing that we always talk about, we're a recording studio, so we want people to record here. But when it comes down to it, as a band, when you're advertising yourself, having a product that sounds less good, but as opposed to having nothing, is great. A good song's a good song.
Yep.
I'm a bit of an audiophile, so I like things to sound amazing, and I don't like things that sound raw. But if a good song comes out that sounds raw, it's a good song. You're like, fuck,
Correct.
this is sick.
A good song it's the same as people. A good song is not up to the person who created it and his personal opinions on things. A good song is from the people who listen to it and they go, fuck, that's a good song.
Yep. Yeah, so I think if you're a band starting out and you haven't got anything, just hit record on your fucking computer and there's a sound recorder built in.
Yep.
Just set up a guitar and, a microphone. Just play a guitar into it. It's better than nothing. It's something to give out for free at gigs when you're first starting.
Yep.
But then obviously when it does come to a professional recording, how do people, when they're first starting,
Yep.
what's the things that you need to do?
We got to find someone who's going to record you. Is the first big thing, because you'll be like, well, say you've got the fucking music in the band, but I don't know how to do it.
What if you're limited with cash? Let's do that one first.
Everyone's limited from cash. You're still going to need to find someone to record you.
Yep.
If you want a professional finished product, the other route is the home recording, which is a definite route that everyone should go on Whether how slow or fast they do that's up to them. But going down and recording yourself just to get a basic understanding of the recording process will only benefit you later in your career. But
The other things, though, the classic, uni kids are looking for bands to record.
Yep.
We see that all the time on the
Yep.
forums. It's not going to, unless you get a freak that knows exactly what they're doing, you're probably not going to get as good a quality product. But if you strap for cash,
or you can get lucky in the class. Like,
can you?
yeah, out of the class, there's probably going to be fucking one or two dudes who actually take it serious and fucking like it.
Yep.
And if they record you, you just get a fucking dude who's so super keen and loves what they do in a studio with gear.
You can always ask for the stems as well and get someone professional to record it.
Yep.
I don't know how unis
I don't know how it
work
works.
these days.
But definitely, because it's part of their course. So if you're doing sound production or any of those other fucking TAFE courses, you have to, as a part of your folio, record outside bands.
Yep.
So definitely, if you're in a band and you're on a fucking harsh budget, going down that, now again, you're then your finished product is not dictated by you.
No.
So this is obviously the payoff that you get by
Correct.
going down that route.
Yep.
But let's say you fucking scratch together a budget, and you go, cool. We want to fucking get some people in. We're going to record. We're going to do this properly. We're going to have a finished product. This is going to be something that we use for the next fucking 6-8 months of promoting and marketing to get us live shows, to get us tours.
Yep.
And it's finding someone who's going to record you.
Yep.
Finding someone that you feel comfortable working with in a creative sense. Finding a space that you feel comfortable in. Being open to your tracks being slightly manipulated and restructured, I think is something that's good. Obviously if you're starting out, unless you've got a fucking track record of writing hits, like maybe there are some improvements that can be made to your songs. Not to say
there always can be, even with professional quality
definitely
songwriting.
I think
there's
being
always
open to that,
improvements.
I didn't even know that was a thing back when I was playing in bands or even in early fucking hip hop days. Like the idea of, hey, cool, you guys, we finished a song. All right, cool, let's go into a room and fucking pull it apart with someone else. Like,
Yep.
I'd never seen it or been exposed to it. So for that reason, it was never in my thought process.
You just think that people have a song and they go into the studio and
they
record
record
it
it.
and that's done.
Yep.
There's another world.
Yep.
I'm a big fan of pre-production. I think it's a crucial aspect, getting outside ears on your product. Just to think of things that you wouldn't have thought of is extremely beneficial. And I don't see it enough. And, it's just, the professionals, it's a weird thing because when you get to that high level, I would say that the songwriters are kind of on, and there probably wouldn't be much pre-production. But when it comes to bands, I'm what I was referring to as pop singers.
Yep.
When it comes to bands, I would say that there's still pre-production for the top tier.
Huge. And I'd say it's even lengthier and
Yeah.
more in-depth and
Yeah.
more
That's why you
more
hear about
intense.
Blink-182 going into a studio for a whole year recording an album.
Yeah. And
Pretty much that's pre-production for a year.
yeah,
Like-
that's let's have some other eyes over
Yeah,
this project.
yeah.
But monster bands, like, see, Slipknot went in and they lived in the studio for like a month,
Mm.
kind of demoing track. Like when they're like, if a band's like, oh, we went into a studio and demo tracks, that means we were writing shit that didn't sound good, and we needed someone else at some point to
Yeah.
come in and guide the ship.
Yeah. Metallica have got 2 or 3 documentaries where they've documented their whole recording process, and they're super dope. Like, you can see, Lars, it's pretty much just Lars and James Hetfield that write all the songs, and they're the two that have the main amount of input into stuff, and they do all the pre-production, they rearrange the songs. It's like they bring the ideas into it, and they hear the end product before it actually comes out.
Yep.
And that's kind of what pre-production is, but super crucial.
Yep.
But, if you're starting out and you just want a product, get it done.
Yeah, you
Just
can
make
get
it
it
happen.
recorded. And again, part of the pre-production, like I guess its only value comes in that other person that's in the room with you. Obviously, if you've written a song
Yeah.
and that other set of eyes or ears is from someone who's never fucking written a song, like, it's probably their opinion input might not,
Yeah.
shouldn't dictate the track
Yeah,
that
yeah.
much. So I guess it's if you're in a position where you are, I guess, in a studio with people who you feel do actually know better and know more than you, and you're open to their input, or you find
Listen
that you're
to it.
playing with other bands and they're giving you some feedback on your tracks, like it has to come from a knowledgeable source, I guess is what
Yeah.
I'm getting at.
Yeah.
And like even in all aspects of the music industry or any fucking industry, like being open to feedback and input from people who are at a higher level than you is only going to fucking help you get to
Yeah.
where you want to get to quicker.
Just learning stuff. You always have to be open to learning. It's like silly to block yourself off from learning new things
Or to
just
think-
out of stubbornness or pride.
Yeah,
Doesn't
I'm
make
still.
sense to
It
me.
still actually baffles me. Actually, we had a fucking message on Insta that just popped in my head. It was I was not going to say any fucking names. It was
Yeah.
that dude who's like, hey man, like I'm fucking awesome. I'm going to fucking blow you guys away with all this. And it's like dudes pumping up their own tires, but it's crazy in the music industry, especially of people who do think that they're like, oh man, my songwriting spot. I've written this song. This is awesome. This is dope. It's like
It's personal.
it's
that's
not
right.
up to if you've written this song that's this dope, you'd know about it. Like when Justin Bieber was 18, he knew he was fucking dope. He didn't have to tell people. He's not like, oh man, I've got this.
People are delusional,
When
though.
you're that good, when you're as good as people think they are, you'll know about it.
Yeah.
Like you can't
Unless you hide it. Forever.
intentionally. Yeah.
And there are some extremely talented people that don't get found, of course. But
Definitely.
But yeah, there's validity to what you're saying. You know, you can only. I guess there's a threshold. There's a ceiling to being able to pump yourself up without getting results.
Without having the runs on the board first.
It's like slow down, mate.
Like if you've got 20 gold hits to your name, number one hits, and you've been in that scene for a while, cool. Your opinion comes with a fair bit of fucking influence there.
I do think it's good to back yourself. Like
Definitely.
I reckon if you believe that you're onto something, then push yourself forward and try and get heard and seen by the right people. But it's not about the words.
I think,
it's
yeah.
about the action.
100%. If you do think you're onto the right something, back yourself in, but be open and listen to the feedback.
Yeah.
If you've been backing yourself in off your instincts for the last 5 years and nothing's gone your way and all these other things are happening and just nothing's gone for you, change what you're doing. Like the formula's wrong.
Yeah.
So back yourself
Slow
in.
down.
Back
Just slow
yourself
down,
in,
I
but at
think.
the same time, if your internal compass is off and you want to go to north, you're not going to fucking find
it's
it.
all a learning curve, though. I think you have to be open to learning. That's the main point. You know, you can really push yourself forward and think that you have the best product. When it comes down to it, listen to people that know what they're talking about because they can help.
Yep.
You know, if they're not dicks about it, But if people genuinely want to help you, let them help you.
Let them help you,
Yeah.
Because you can learn something from everyone, even if it's what not to do.
Yep.
Like if someone is a fucking dick to you, you're like, cool, I know how they made me feel, and when I'm in the position to help someone else songwrite,
Yep.
I'm not going to fucking do that to them.
Yep.
And then you'll just be making the industry a better place for everyone.
Those people aren't going to disappear, though. That's the thing.
They're slowly leaving. It's the dinosaurs.
Yeah, the new ones are coming up, though.
Yeah. So then let's say...
I tell you what.
So let's say we've, well-
Cheers, tell you something for nothing.
All right, you done there, Stu? You
Oh,
finished?
boy. Yeah,
So let's say you booked a gig. You booked a gig. You've gone in, so you're recording.
Yep.
So you're in the songwriting pre-production phase. Say you're open and your track's been rearranged a little bit and just kind of moved around. Had the whole project kind of tightened up. The song should be in the best position or the best situation for it to be recorded, I guess.
Yeah, that you have access to at the time.
Yep.
Yep.
The best version of itself for you to actually record and fucking lay down for people to listen to forever.
Yep. I would say on that, don't be too much of a perfectionist and hold yourself back because at the end of the day, you can keep rewriting songs till the cows come home. But if you've got a song, we always talk about the 80% rule. Once it gets to 80% and 90%,
Leave it.
Just leave it.
Yep.
And
And move on.
There's always
Write
gonna
the
be
next
more.
one. Yeah. Because it's kind of like the standard. People always, not always, but creatives a lot. They will write something, then go off and improve your skills as everyone does. And then they'll look at that old bit of whatever they've created and be like, oh, they'll hear where they were at when they wrote it and not necessarily see it as a reflection of their skill level now. So won't want to put it out because they're like, no, I'm better than that. When really, if you're looking at it like, well, the tracks that I'm going to write are going to be better. Like you're just leaving the trail of how you progress rather than progressing the same idea with your skills.
Yeah.
Leave that one out there as a marker of where you're at, move on, make
going.
another song fucking tomorrow that's going to be better than today's. Do that and in 6 months it's going to be better. It's a lot better than reworking the same track
Yeah,
for 6
100%.
months and then you look back, you're like, oh man, this track was like this 6 months ago, but now it's like this. Cool, you just polished the same track.
Yeah.
Like leave the trail for people to
and
follow.
then you've left 20 other possible songs behind.
Yeah, in the fucking and one of those songs could have been the one that fucking someone liked and shared that fucking started everything.
Because I can probably assume that 50 or 60% of songs that are as famous as they are, a lot of the time, people probably did not expect them to get as big as they are. You know, songs like Billie Jean, like Michael Jackson didn't even want that song on the album, and that's his most played song. You know, so don't make assumptions on what other people will like of your stuff as well. Just because you like it,
Correct.
Because you think it's your best song doesn't mean everyone else will.
Yep.
So-
and like Whitesnake, Here I Go Again, flopped when it got released. Then they re-released it like 4 years later with new fucking marketing and a new push, and it went to number one. For
But that's
many
kind of the
weeks.
opposite of what you're talking about.
Well, it's exact. Yeah, it's a don't let what you think influence others. If just because you think it's a good song, no one else should or necessarily will. Just because you think it's a fucking bad song, you shouldn't put out. Not necessarily everyone's going to agree with that.
Yeah. I don't know. You kind of flip-flopped there. You went backwards on what we were saying about holding on to songs.
What do you mean? No, what I was getting at was don't like.
Well, they probably thought it was a good song.
Well, they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it wasn't. Well,
It wasn't at the
turned
start.
Out, yeah.
Turned out it was.
Correct,
After they
but-
worked on it for 4 years.
Yeah, so the outcome of what the fans thought surprised them to what their internal thoughts of it was.
Initially.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is you can't base what you do off how you think people are going to receive or react to your stuff.
I see what you're saying.
Because you can never predict it. They thought they were going to put it out as a hit and it fucking flopped.
It's true. I think Aha, Take On Me, they had to re-record that 3 times until they got to the version that everyone knows today. But it's weird. I mean, yeah, there's...
Wang Chung, that started out as a ballad.
Really?
Yep.
Everybody Wang Chung tonight.
Got reworked.
That's the Stu
Into the
Watts
hit that
version.
we all
That's I might make a cover of that.
I hope we
Yeah.
never
Anyway,
hear that
so
again.
let's move on. From there, you've started a band, you've booked a show, you've done a recording. What comes next? Video clip.
Yep,
Yep.
probably.
Yep. So all right. I'm just starting out. I've got a song that I fucking love. That's my single. I need to record a video. Where do I look? How do I do it?
It's a very good question, Johnny. I'd starting with people you know. Do you know anyone who has a video camera or who films
Yep.
shit? Do you know?
Do I need to spend $10,000 on a video clip?
Do I have $10,000 to spend on a video clip?
If
Do
I
have
have, if mummy and daddy give me $10,000, should I spend it on a video
Well, it
clip?
could have been Tats Lotto, and that's what you spend it on. Could come from a lot of places. A big night on the pokies. But it'd be, well, first of all, you're going to need someone to video and edit it. If you don't know how to video and edit yourself, you're going to need someone. And if you're asking yourself now, do I know how to film and edit? The answer to that's probably not. But finding someone to film and edit it, obviously, if you've got a band with you, you're going to need, obviously, all the band members there. So now we're talking about liaising dates and making sure people are available. You've now got your band plus another videographer. Things like lighting are super fucking handy. Again, the more you have access to these things and the more time you've got, the more resources available will dictate how in-depth and niche you can go. If you've got a guy who's filming it who has filmed a fair bit before, he'll probably bring a fair bit of this experience with him in terms of lights and shit like that. But really, the one thing that you need is kind of a picture, an idea in your head of what you want this film clip to look like. You should have some vague idea, even if it's just pointing him in a vague direction and, you know, giving him small bits of ideas. You don't really want to leave it all up to someone else to just dictate how your film clip is, because everyone's fucking different and no one's going to care about your song as much as you.
Yep.
So going, cool, I've got the song, I've got my band organized. I've got this dude that I found at TAFE who films. He's going to shoot a clip for me. Then it's kind of writing down what's in your head. What do you actually picture it? How realistic are these things? Where can you film it?
I've got experience with that in terms of taking it to someone who wanted to shoot a video clip for us. So we had a pretty grand idea of what we wanted to do, and we wanted to tie it into how social media affects, personability, and
Actually,
everyone's had a lot of people have had that.
Your
idea.
clips are always try to they go down the story route.
Comedy, yeah.
Yeah,
Story
there's like
and
there's a story in it. Whereas I was always the opposite. I'm like footage.
Yeah.
I'm not telling a story here. I'm
Yeah.
giving visuals to look at while we pump the track.
The video clips that I have always loved haven't necessarily related to the lyrical theme of the song, but they've always had a story element to them that, at the start is different to at the end.
Okay.
And I like
slapstick comedy.
I like slapstick comedy, but it doesn't have to be that.
Yep.
There's an example, Arctic Monkeys, which track is it? I can't remember the name of it, but it's this guy who sees a shoe hit the ground in front of him, and he looks up and he sees someone about to commit suicide. So he runs up the stairs and saves her, and then they go out for lunch, and then she tries hitting on him, and he's like, "Well, I'm married," and then he's like, "Oh, I've got to go." So then he walks off, and she tackles him and tries to hug him and play with him, and he's like, "Leave me alone," and she still tries to hang out with him. He's like, "Fuck off, leave me alone." And then he leaves, and then she's looks depressed and stuff, and then she goes up the stairs to the top of the roof and kicks her shoe off again in front of some other dude. Fucking awesome.
Okay, cool.
Super cool. And shit like that. That's not slapstick comedy, but that's a story.
No, yeah.
It has no relevance to the lyrical theme of the song.
Anything.
But I just think a video clip that has something extra to give to people, then there's more chance of someone relating to it in some way, whether that's if it's super basic slapstick comedy or whether it's an in-depth story.
And I agree with that. I agree with that statement
Yeah.
of giving someone something extra.
Yeah.
If you can do that through film, obviously it's an extra.
Yep.
Why I didn't go down that route with any film
Logistics?
clips is, that, but also I was of the opinion if you didn't, it's easier
To fuck it up.
to fuck it up
Yeah.
and have just a lot of cheesy looking
Yep.
footage where you're trying to look like a lot of fucking the home movies that were on Channel 31 back in the day or public broadcasting. Like you're like, okay, cool. I can see what they've got here. They've written a narrative. They've got cute little fucking costumes, but you've gone and filmed at your dad's handy cam in your fucking cousin's basement. So it's not
Sometimes
a Hollywood
embracing the cheese.
Well, again, if that's what you're after,
Correct.
then that's cool.
Correct.
But
If you want your band to be taken seriously, probably don't go down the slapstick route.
Well, yeah. And I mean, even going down a serious narrative route, if it's not executed properly, and I mean, when we're getting to telling a story with film, now you're looking at, you need to fucking have a knowledge of what lenses you're going to use for which shots, why you're going to color grade shit in a certain way because it gives it a feel, what's the framing like, what, all this other shit. Now you're in depth in a music video clip. Starting off, we went, and even fucking to this day, just do a cooler version of it, is just footage to go with the track, footage of the band jamming, put the band somewhere fucking else. I mean, a classic is just a 3 different location clip. Get 3 different locations, cut it together. That's the general outline of a lot of clips.
Yep.
If you can get 2 contrasting ones and then fucking the band somewhere else, sweet. Find 3 different locations, fucking play through the track, fucking 10 times at each fucking location, cut it through, boom. Like that gives you the basic outline of a film clip.
Yeah.
And I guess there's less room to go drastically wrong when you're not trying to put a creative version, a creative fucking narrative with the film as well.
Yep.
So that's always a route I went down. Again, with big budgets,
safer.
with big time, you definitely do the other route. But I was always of the opinion, unless I knew the crew that was running it, unless I knew we had everything on point, unless there was actual fucking meetings and discussions about this video clip before we're doing it, I'm like, it's probably going to come out fucking cheesy. We can get a better result fucking actually executing and planning something simpler rather than trying to tell a fucking novel or a story tale in a video and it not getting done as good.
I think there's an argument for and against that. There's the whole, the more risks that you take and one pays off, then that's probably going to pay off higher than if you didn't take risks. But if all you're doing is taking risks, then that's silly.
Yep.
You know. But anyway, yeah, it could go either way. You know, you can't necessarily. I agree with what you're saying in terms of there's less that could go wrong. 100%. Sometimes taking risks is worth the reward.
Definitely.
But yeah, essentially one time we had an idea for a video clip that we liked. We had a whole concept. We wrote out the whole storyline of the whole thing. And then we took it to the guy who was going to shoot the video clip for us. And he was like, this is going to cost a lot of money because you're thinking of different locations, different lighting, all this sort of stuff. You know, if you want it to be a professional grade video, then it's going to cost so much money. And we were like, cool, we can't afford it. And he was like, realistically, what we can do is we can put you in a room with a green screen and get a shit ton of amazing shots and you'll get a good quality video of you playing in a room. And I don't like video clips of bands playing in rooms. That's it. I think that that's just pointless. You know, I to an extent, you know, video clips are better than no video clips most of the time, but I just don't like, it's just my personal opinion on video clips of bands just playing in the forest or fucking in a room with graffiti in it. You know, I'm just like, I don't care. Like,
that's what I'm about.
Yeah. I have never thought that I will never get engaged with a video clip like that. I'll just listen. I'd prefer to just listen to the song.
Cool.
So yeah,
That's
everyone's
fine.
different.
Yeah.
But anyway, we ended up with that and it looks great and it's a good video clip and I was stoked with it. It just wasn't the thing that we had in mind at the start. But that's the point. You have to be aware that if you want a professional grade looking video clip, it comes with money.
Yep.
So, you know, depending on your budget, depends on
Definitely.
what
We especially early on gone down that route of trying to build this narrative around the fucking song and this is going to be so clever. This shot is going to go with this lyric and fuck, it's going to blow people's minds when they watch this.
Yep.
And then you look back and you're just like, fuck, that was shit. Like just cheesy.
Yeah.
Because you're aiming out of your pay grade.
Yep.
Like, especially you'll know if you
Unless you get lucky. Which is very slim.
But in that case, you'll know you're working with a little bit of magic in the room with that videographer, with the dude who's editing.
Yeah.
If he knows about what color grading he's got to do each shot, and he's got these lights, and he's bringing these cameras, and you know nothing about it, but because he's doing it, you don't know how to film. So if he's bringing this shit with him, if you've got a feeling like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing, you might get lucky.
Yep.
He could know what he's doing.
Yep.
But if that guy doesn't know what the term color grading means, I'd say it's probably not going to fucking come out with a dope looking narrative piece.
Yeah.
I'd say is a fair bet.
Yep.
Again, like if you've got this huge kind of fairy tale, it's just got to be the scale back from cool North Point, fucking dream star, reality, practical.
Yeah.
This is what I want. If I had endless budget and everything, cool. What do I have to work with? All right, I got fucking my buddy Jim from TAFE. He's got 2 film cameras. I've got the band. We're free next Sunday. My fucking Bill from the fucking band, his parents have a crib that's got a dope backyard and this fucking and this fucking guest house out back with a pool table and shit. So I'm gonna get fucking my buddy Jim from TAFE and Bill's fucking parents out on the weekend. So the whole band's gonna go down there. We're gonna film for fucking 6 hours. We're gonna get a box of beers. It's gonna be mad fun. We're gonna play the fucking track. We're gonna film it and we're gonna slap it together and that's a clip. Cool. I'd say that's gonna be more genuine and more realistic visual representation of your band, where you're at, then trying to spill this narrative that ties into the fucking song. Again, just my opinions on it. That's in a more practical way to go about it, I guess.
More practical.
Practical.
If you have something that you can do and you believe in it, I think that it's important to do it. My argument. And it might not turn out the right way, but you'll learn from it. So I would advise people that are wanting to do something that have the ability to, you know, it might not turn out to be as good as something else, but I think it's worth doing. And that to me is like being artistic. You know, if you have the ability to write a song that's not in line with something, but it's a good song, then do it that way. That's kind of how I see it. The kind of payoff.
I'm with you. But then now let me ask you this then. say you can go out and you have this creative license to write a song, write a good song, take some risks, but before you go and record that song, you're going to go into pre-production with some dudes who know what's happening, and you're going to see what's a realistic and best version of that song to record and lay down.
Depends on the outcome that you want.
So you want a good track. You want the best song.
But for who? Because if the video clip is for commercial purposes, then do the best quality video clip that you can at if it's realistic to only shoot you in a room, do the room. Right? If you're getting a better quality clip and that's the purpose of getting higher quality,
well, the whole purpose around a music clip is awareness, I'd say. Like, yes, there is income.
If you're an artistic band and you're not worried about commercial success,
okay,
and it's about integrity, then I would say go with the artistic.
Okay,
avenue.
so you see using the film clip as another creative outlet for the band.
100%.
Okay,
100%. Yep.
Cool. I guess,
100%.
yeah, interesting. I mean, it definitely is, but I see it more as an asset.
Yep. It's just
yeah.
it depends on what outcome you want.
Yep.
Yeah. If you're using it purely for marketing and you're wanting to propel your band, which not everyone is, but
it's true.
Yeah. If you're using it as an artistic outlet and you have the means to create an artistic
definitely.
video clip,
If you're using it as an artistic outlet, fuck, dude, go get buy 3 secondhand handycams, shoot it at 720 in your fucking basement with some glow in the dark like paint, and do something weird, and it'll be dope. And you never know, that could break the internet.
Correct, and that's my point.
Yep.
And that's another reason that you cannot. What we've said, you can't say what people are going to like. If you have a vision that you can pay off, imagine all the visionaries like David Bowie and fucking Kanye even didn't go with. Imagine if they didn't go with what their artistic vision was and they played it safe and did what the people told them.
They were told to. Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely. But I think part of that is the self-awareness and recognition of have I put the runs like
correct.
When you're David Bowie or of that stature, like, yep, you've got some license to tell people, go, cool, I've got a vision here, let's go with me.
Yes and no, because some people start that way and they start off as artists and get famous. Yeah.
But I think those...
It's harder. Don't get me wrong, it's way harder. It's way harder, but I would, it's hard.
And I think
it depends what you want getting out of it.
Yeah, yep. And even that, if you're in that situation, you'll know about it.
Not always.
But you'll be doing stuff that other people aren't.
Yeah.
You'll be...
And you'll be ignoring probably a lot of what people are telling you.
Everything, because you'll be that one in a million. Yeah. That's the very definition of this person we're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I see validity to what you're saying in terms of using video clips as marketing promotional things.
Yep.
And I think...
And even like... And here's another fucking thing that we tell all the artists through artist coaching, how to maximize budgets on video clips. Fuck, man, like if I was having my time again, instead of shooting one clip that we'd save up for a fucking budget, go record a fucking 5-track EP in your fucking bedroom or something. Like, the EP doesn't have to be super dope. But if you can get 5 tracks at a listenable level where people aren't going to hate you for the recording quality, so you've got 5 songs, fucking just go and shoot one verse and one hook, different video clips, try different weird shit. Now all of a sudden you can get super weird. You can do fucking glow body paint in your basement at night for one clip, knowing full well that something different is coming out the next fucking week where you guys are playing in a forest and then you're in the one room. Now all of a sudden you've got a marketing plan because you're touching on all. You can do anything because the important thing is not the relevance of that song or that video. What's important is what's coming up next, and that's more content.
Yep.
So now you're getting exposure to all 5 songs as well as having visuals with all 5. They can be all different. So there's no this, oh man, they're just going to think I'm a weird indie band because we shot this in my basement. People aren't going to pigeonhole you off that one thing. No. So because you've got more coming.
Yep.
And then you've just given yourself, I think a lot of people, if they go through that, they'll feel this air of freedom because they've taken this internal pressure off themselves about how they're going to be preconceived for putting out these fucking tracks.
Yeah, we hear a lot of people putting all their eggs in one basket. It's something that we see and hear. Like, we see it in Facebook groups, we hear it in person, people coming through when we have consultations with people, they have these grand ideas of this one product
All the time.
that's going to make them.
This is it.
And it's like,
And they're sitting
who are you?
Yep.
Like, be realistic. Just put out gain awareness as much as you possibly can at the start.
And the
That's
best
what it's
outlook,
about.
like I always think of things like now, my outlook is always is cool. What's the next project?
Mm-hmm.
Like everything that I fucking do or learn or go through or have to fucking make work on this one, it's of the very real like knowledge. I've told myself, I'm like, this isn't going to be the one that does anything. Like I'm going through this to learn for the next project.
Yeah.
It's always the next project. I don't care what the next project is or where it comes from or what's happening.
Yep.
I don't care how big whatever the present project is or what's happening. What I'm thinking of is cool. I've got another one to do.
Yeah.
'Cause
At the
I think-
same time, it's important to be proud of the results that you get, though.
I think do that later. Stop and fucking stop and breathe. Stop and look at the scenery when you're 40 or 50, man.
Yeah, maybe.
But early on, like what? Someone to fucking
Early
who's
on, yes.
starting in bands, like don't stop and be like, oh man, look at these
Correct.
accomplishments. Just fucking do it.
Yep.
Just
Get out
just
there.
get out there. Yeah, get out there and get into it.
More exposure, more gigs, more
Yep.
video clips,
and do it for the
more
process. Like
recordings.
if you really enjoy the process of looking forward to the next one, like it's dope. You're like, cool. Fuck, this one didn't go quite as planned, but that's okay because I'm looking forward to the next one.
In what I can relate to that is I listen back to my early recordings as a sound engineer for my early bands, and I'm like, this sounds like shit. At the time, we needed a recording. I knew how to record. We didn't have money to pay someone else. I did it.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't sound great. Doesn't sound shit. Well, it's debatable. Probably sounds shit. But, you know, it's a product.
got done.
And I think that really is the important thing.
Definitely.
That don't hold yourself back. Get stuff done.
Yep.
Get it out there. Get people knowing who you are.
Yep.
Don't have this idea of yourself that you are that important, that people need to know who you are, because at the start it's not true.
Yep.
You'll
Don't-
get that value as
don't-
time goes on.
Yep. 100%. And don't wait for these ideal moments. You're like, oh, you know, I'm gonna wait till this track's good, then I'm gonna play it live. Just do it. Like
Yep.
the speed at which you can go out and execute things is gonna dictate how quick you get to your end goal, if at all.
Yep. And I've learnt that no one gives a shit as much as you do.
Fucking oath, no one should. It's your music.
Correct.
Like you, no,
And one day,
like it'd be
maybe you'll
it'd
have a
be
super fan.
unrealistic of me for you to give to expect you to give it as much a shit about Marshall Street as I do.
it's your
Like it's my
yeah.
like it's just different things.
Yeah.
Like same like as we jam in repeat script, like you know, it's your band,
You're not in the band. I don't expect you to give a shit.
but it's your baby, it's your product. No one
Yeah.
else should care about it as much as you. But your job is to find the people that you need to make your dream or project or whatever it is come true. Find out what's important to them, and then give that to them because you're going to get the best out of them.
Yep.
If you have a video dude who just loves fucking drinking beers and smoking darts, and you give him a slab and a box of darts, guess what? He's going to be your greatest video guy for all time. Well, like, what's important to him? Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway,
Nice.
that's about
That's
it.
a good one for today.
Yeah.
Debate Central. I love it. It's good. It's
The
good
hot
to have
topics.
disagreements. That's where you get to an answer
That's right.
or multiple answers. Multiple answers are better than one. Not always. I don't know what I'm talking about. All right.
Nice.
Yeah. We'll see you next time.
We will see you next time on the Marshall Street Podcast. Peace.
Peace.